Alright, so I woke up one day and everybody was talking about this phenomenon called QAnon, right? So at the time, I had never heard of this before, right? I had no idea what it was, but starting from like one day on, I don't know when exactly this day was, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the exact history of when this started, but all I know is that I woke up one day and like a lot of the channels I'm subscribed to were talking about this QAnon thing. So I had no idea what it was. And I looked it up. And first of all, when you look up like what is QAnon or introduction to QAnon, you just get a bunch of trash, honestly. Like, what is this stuff, you know? Like, really? It's a big riddle now? For real? Trump recently appointed John Bolton. It's just like everything QAnon was saying practically goes out the window once once Trump appoints John Bolton. Like, so, and also I want to show you guys something else. Because keep in mind, I everybody was talking about this QAnon thing, and at the time I didn't know what it was. So this is what I did. I typed in what is the Q source, right? Because everyone was saying that it was some type of source of information or something like that, right? So I swear to God, you just saw me type it in. I typed in what is the Q source. So the first thing that came up is Q source. So I clicked on it, and it's like some old Christian thing or Catholic thing. I don't know, in the Gospels or in the Bible or some shit like this. You know what I mean? So pretty much. So once I saw this, it all made sense. Like, it all made sense why everybody was treating this Q source as the gospel. That's why it's called Q, because you're all treating it like the gospel. Meanwhile, what is it? What is it? What is it doing? Is it gonna do anything? And I'm not really like the only one who feels this way or who's thinking these thoughts. Like, I just typed in, you know what I mean? Like, I found this little post on Steam It, and like I don't even know this person. I just found this on the internet randomly. It came up on like the first page on a Google search I did. How dumb do you have to be to fall for QAnon, Assange, and their ilk? Julian Assange has made so little of an impact that there's a lot of people that don't even think he's real. And the same goes for Edward Snowden. Are these guys whistleblowing, or are they telling us stuff we basically already knew? Sure, Julian Assange and Edward Snowden have revealed information, okay, and they're whistleblowers. All I'm trying to say is I don't follow anybody. I don't follow anybody like the gospel or like a fad. You know, while all the sheeple scratch their heads trying to decipher messages from their saviors, see, this person used an interesting word, saviors, right? Because it's the Q source. It's the Q source from the gospel. It's Christian, right? You're treating it like the gospel, okay? Right? So while all the sheeple are sitting there scratching their heads trying to find meaning in this, Trump appoints John Bolton. So you gotta you gotta sit back and think, like, who starts all this stuff? What what is going on here? That it's just like a flurry of random information and data and like input, random people's inputs. I mean, like, is there any organization to this at all, or are we really gonna just sit around and treat this random QAnon thing like the gospel? Really? What the Okay? So this is something I call a fraud throughout history. Okay? Another fraud throughout history is the word occupy, with the Occupy movements, right? Okay, to put it short, occupy was a word from the 1500s that meant sex, that meant to fornicate. And elites or aristocrats, or I read somewhere that it was British aristocracy that really started to use that phrase. Common members of the public as well. But the point is that this word historically meant, to screw or to fornicate. It's like these things were all started by somebody, and who are they started by? They're not started by you. Who started Occupy? I don't know, like George Soros funded, elite funded morons that just do anything they're told to do. Like who started Occupy? If you think about it, Occupy is a joke because it's like they basically started this movement to call, to make people think people were going to strike back against Wall Street, but did anything ever happen? I don't know. Let me know if something ever happened, but I don't know if anything ever happened. I'm pretty sure it just fizzled out and it was nothing because it was a joke the whole time. It was started. It was astroturf. Like the Occupy movement is what they call astroturf. It was not grassroots. It was fake grassroots. Just like I really believe this QAnon, right? Like this QAnon might just be, I don't know, just like a false thing, just something that shouldn't really be like. What is all this? What is all this crap? Oh my god. Ugh. So anyway, I think I've said my piece. Signing out.